Hello there, hockey fans, and welcome. It is a new edition of Into the Wilderness. On this show, we meet the Latvians. Goose Ozolins and Peteris Purmalis join us. Goose, the captain of the 23-24 season, and Peter, currently leading the team in scoring with 17 goals and 43 points. We're going to go over the last couple of weeks on the season. That includes the Alaska trip where the team went 1-3. That includes a split against Anchorage and 2 losses to the Kenai River Brown Bears. And it also dropped the team to 5th place in the Midwest Division, 1 point out of the last playoff spot. That currently held by Chippewa, but the Wilderness do have 2 games in hand. So let's not wait another moment. So let's meet the Latvians on this edition of Into the Wilderness. All right, and we begin this edition of Into the Wilderness as we have the Captain Gustavs Ozolins and also Peter Purmalis joining us on the program. And guys, thanks for coming along.
Thanks for having us, Marty. Yep.
It's our special, I guess you could call us the Meet the Latvians show. You guys obviously very familiar with each other, and we want to get to know you guys at least a little bit more here. Before we jump into everything here, of course, first and foremost on many people's minds is the Alaska trip. We've had some pretty good success in Alaska over the last couple seasons. This trip probably not ranking up there as among the better, but we'll first of all recap Anchorage. Things went well in Anchorage. Get the split in that series. Tell us about your thoughts on how things went.
Overall, things went pretty good. Not pretty good, but all right, I guess. But it's always tough to basically start the game being down 2-0, and then you got to rally back, and it doesn't make it easy for you to be in that position. But we came back, we had some success. We battled the last game. It was a very good team victory, felt like.
Yeah, overall, it's tough to come back, but that weekend you guys were able to do at least make it a game toward the end.
Yeah, we just need to get better at starting the game right away. Just not let the other team get advantage and yeah. So
Yeah, gutted it out there in that second game. You guys had that lead in the third. They were able to battle back, but a nice way to pull that off with the shootout.
Yep.
So and yeah, with the habit of falling behind 2-0, obviously you got to break that.
Right, it's a mindset. We've been talking a lot about that. We're trying, but it doesn't come easy. It's probably way easier said than done. But it comes with a mindset and being ready for a game, for a buck drop right away.
All right, Pete, this week practices, thoughts on how things have started off here to get ready for these final 6.
I think we have started out pretty well. We talk with the guys, the coaches talk with us about just winning every day, and I think that's what we've done so far this week. I think today's practice was pretty good. Yesterday's as well. So yeah.
Yeah, you look at Alaska trips and they can go one way or another, and um, do you see something that was different as far as the attitude for this trip as compared to past Alaska trips? Anything that you saw that might have, I don't know, disrupted the flow at all?
Not really. Maybe I would say a little bit more pressure on the team.
Hmm.
It's not like that usually. You're looking forward to going to Alaska, just play your game. Like we've always had Alaska trips pretty early in the season, and then you're kind of hungry for hockey. But it's kind of harder to. I don't want to say focus more because the focus is there, but it comes harder overall
Hmm.
at the end of the season. You're tired, probably mentally tired too a little bit, and you just gotta put some extra work in.
Sure. Well, I want to get, first of all, we'll let folks know a little bit more about you guys individually here. And here's Goose's background, being the defenseman, this season's team captain, committed to RPI, and in last season of junior hockey eligibility. And, this season, I see you I see you're taking the responsibility of captain very seriously. It seems like a lot of one-on-ones with the coach and just things like that. It seems like you're very hands-on as far as your role as captain.
Yeah, so I'm very blessed. I would say that coach puts a lot of trust in me, and all I'm trying to do is give it back and work very hard and get the team on the same page all the time.
Right. Yeah. And having that chance to chat with the coach maybe helps as far as your what you want to see from him and applying that to your game.
Of course, and it helps him to see what he wants to see more from us. It's
Mm.
kind of it goes both ways. It's a two-way street. He trusts me, I trust him. We come together and just I don't know brainstorm a little bit too
Hmm.
sometimes, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but we keep trying.
Right. And I know that everybody that is at this level where they've been playing so long, they look at that role of being an older player as a responsibility for leadership. How do you see that for yourself here, Petey, when you're
Um,
working with some of the younger guys on your team?
for me, it's like an kind of a new experience, being like the oldest guy on a team, and I think it's as you said, a big responsibility. You need to like kind of give like your experience to the younger guys, because I know that helps a lot, and yeah, that's what I'm still working on every day. Because as I said, it's my first experience, but I think we're doing a pretty good job.
And I know you guys will get into a little bit about your background of playing together, Team Latvia, but you had him as a captain and went for the World Junior Tournament squad, so you're a little bit used to him being part of a leadership role.
Yeah, Goose has been my captain probably since I'm like 14 years old.
Hmm.
When I first moved away from home, like I've been playing with him since I'm 14, and yeah, he has been my captain like my whole life. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, all right. So we'll get folks to know you a little bit here, PD, with your background. How do you say that your town's name?
Leapaya.
Leapaya. Okay.
Yep.
And a forward, and you were the first one, I think, this season to turn 21 on the squad. So, elder statesman on the team, and you, your experience here before you came here, had experience working with Coach St. Clair with time in Sioux City. What tell us about that and how you got to know and what that helped that get you ready for your experience here with the Wilderness.
Yeah, Colton was uh, Sioux City's assistant coach when I was there, so I got to know him really well when I played there, and obviously I was very excited when I got the news that he's going to be the head coach. So yeah, it helped me a lot that I already knew him and I already know his like expectations and how he wants to play. That kind of goes hand in hand with the like leadership role because
Hmm.
like I already knew a lot of stuff that he's like teaching us. So yeah, I could help all the younger guys and stuff.
Sure. And I know you guys were involved in a goal in the game the Friday night against Kenai. You were able to dig out, I believe it was Friday's game. You were able to dig out the
Fridays.
puck from the corner
Yeah.
and kind of
Pass it to the
got
middle.
it to Dahl, and he
Go.
got it and
Yep.
was able to. So you guys, if you can talk about that, about you get, I mean, you kind of a situation there where he was being able to spring out. You're used to that, probably a situation where you knew that he was going to have a good chance to
Right. I
score.
mean, I've like we've touched on before. I've been with PD my whole youth hockey time and even now. So I know what he's good at. And my job is to give the puck to the good players, right? That's
Mm.
what um, we used to say all the time last year, and it's the same this year. Basically, you give the puck to the forwards, and I'm trying to do as good of a job as I can, and I know Petey's going to do his job, so I just trust him.
All right, and now and you get a situation there. You see, the guy that you've been working with so long. And did you have a kind of a get a good had a good read there that you were able to get out, and he was able to get the puck
Uh,
one way or another, able to get the puck to you?
yeah, I just saw him like him getting the puck and all was open in the middle,
Mm.
and the defenseman was just like pinching down the wall, and I just like got around him. Yeah, just broke free and
Yeah, broke free and able to get a good read on the goaltender.
yeah,
Made a great move to finish that off.
yeah. I already knew what I was gonna do like before I left the zone. So
Yeah, yeah. And then let's Goose. Let's talk a little bit about that. With that getting that shootout game winner we talked about this before when you got the shootout winner against Fairbanks. It seems like you've been able to get a pretty good strategy down for completing those plays, but that was a situation where, unlike with Fairbanks, you hadn't seen the goal. Maybe you had seen the goaltender before, but this one, kind of went in, and it was a similar move from what we saw in Fairbanks.
Right. So like at the start of the season, the same goalie I scored on was the goalie I scored on last time we played Fairbanks. So I
Hmm.
had to do something different.
Hmm.
But this time I hadn't taken a shootout before against Anchorage, so I trust my ways. I know what's going to go in, and I just do it. I have the move down pretty good, I would say. So I just keep trusting that um, I don't score, I guess,
Sure, trust that process,
until they don't
and
figure it out.
right, if it's worked before, why quit using it? I guess.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So I wanted to get into a little bit about the time you guys spent playing together in with Team Latvia, and I had. Okay, so we'll start off with a little bit about we'll get folks to know a little bit about Latvia itself, and up there in north eastern Europe, and situated there, kind of you know called maybe climate like not too different from what
Not
you're
really. I
experiencing here,
mean, winters get colder here, but overall it's basically the same.
right? And
Yeah.
then, but you folks have had quite a bit of time playing international experience with. When was it that you guys first started playing together? First of all, we'll start
Um,
off there.
if I remember correctly, I think I was like 11 years old when Goose's coach invited me to play for a tournament with his team. We went to like Belarus, I believe, and that's when I first met Goose, and I just fell in love with all the guys. And like at the start, like Goose was one of my closest friends on a team, and so we just became like best friends.
Right. So
S-
10 you were so about 10 years it sounds like you guys have been.
Yeah,
Yeah.
long time ago. Youth hockey team, probably my third year overall playing hockey. I started late, and then we had a pretty good team when I was growing up, and PD was like the biggest, most feared guy on the ice playing against. So there were a lot of times me and my youth 18 went on tournaments all over. So we just wanted to get better, and we knew PD, coach knew PD, and then he started asking him more and more times to come with us on a tournament, and that's how it all started. I mean, then a couple of years later, PD moved to Latvia, where we had it's not I would not consider it a youth hockey team anymore because it was more serious. But then that's how it officially started when we became teammates
Okay.
until now.
Yep.
So it's
So
been
you
it's been a long time.
so you had a background living else outside of Latvia then for a little while then?
I think just mess up the words. I
Okay.
moved from Leopard to
Oh,
Riga to
oh,
Goose's
gotcha.
hometown. Yeah.
Sure, sure. Okay, so the whole family moved there, or
No,
just got a chance to move and
yeah, I
get
just,
a little bit more playing experience, get to play with your buddy then, hey?
yep.
Okay, so and then that leads to playing in international tournaments and World Junior Tournament, being able to. What was that like to represent your country there?
Everything we've ever thought of. I mean, it's what you see on social media before, and then it's like it's actually like it. I mean, it's
Yeah,
the biggest hockey tournament, I would say, the most televised hockey tournament ever, I think. I
right.
mean, if not ever, for
When
sure
you're
for
talking about global reach,
global
yep,
reach, and
yeah,
like it's just crazy, and everything you see is how it's actually like
right.
when you're there. So it was an incredible experience.
Right. Yeah, you'd think, the World Championship might surpass it, but I mean, when you look at, this is something that they have during the holidays. Yeah, I mean, Canada goes crazy for it. We know that.
They do.
And maybe the maybe even just as much viewership in Canada for your games as there is in Latvia. I'm sure that's very possible.
Well, I would say I'm not lying whenever we made it to quarterfinals and we played that game against Sweden, it felt like well, half the Latvians was watching that
Is that
game.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
got a lot of feedback and just the support we had overall in the tournament. It was nothing like I've ever seen before.
Right.
It was crazy, but it was awesome. I loved every second of it.
Yeah, and Peters, your thoughts on what that was like to be able to get on the team and be able to go ahead and play in those
I mean, it
situations.
was awesome. Like the first time we went, it was like with the O2s in the summer. That was like not as, it was still like awesome, as Goose said, like the whole Latvia was like supporting us and stuff. But and when we went in December, the next year with O3s, that's when like you really could see like what it's about because it
Hmm.
was like, as you said, a holiday season and it was in Canada too. So just people there just go crazy
Didn't
Sure.
about
have
hockey.
COVID-19
Yeah,
restrictions too, because in
Right.
summer, we had to be a lot more careful with that. But
Mm,
then in December, it was just like any other time they had
yep.
a tournament.
sure. And to be able to play against some of those that have taken part in that. I mean, I don't know if you guys actually got to play Canada when Connor Bedard was there, but I guess,
Twice.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that interaction, I'm sure you being on defense, what was it like as far as when you saw him coming up against?
Um, I love those type of games.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's um, you focus, you reach the level of focus like you've never, I don't know, felt it before. I'm sure PD was too. Like the whole team was so focused on the game. We
Hmm.
actually did pretty good, looking at the big picture and the feeling you get from playing against the best junior hockey guys in the world
Hmm.
and is incredible. And you actually compete good against them, it gives you all the confidence in the world. And
Hmm.
I mean, it's tough, but if you do good, it's a very, very good feeling.
And you guys were part of a situation there, I know, with Latvia. You guys, was because COVID had all these strange rules, able to maintain and have good enough success in there so that you were able to play another year. So that had to play a big part as far as serving, playing for your country.
Oh yeah, well, it was awesome because we made the quarterfinals and then we like the that year in Edmonton, I don't think anyone played for what's the word? Relegation.
Yeah.
Relegation, sure.
Yeah, we didn't. No one played for it, so it kind of took some pressure off. But I mean, reaching the quarterfinals was awesome. And then the next year in December, we played for relegation and we
Hmm.
won that. So I mean, it was a really good feeling that the next generation could still play
Right.
for, at that stage. So,
Was there any particular player that you're seeing now that might be that they're talking about as a superstar that you felt that you played well against and you showed up pretty well as far as
uh,
that?
yeah, I mean, playing Team Canada, they had all the guys like
Hmm.
Mason McTavish, Connor Bedard, like Owen Zellweger. You can just their whole
Go down
roster.
the roster. Yeah.
Yep. And as Goose said, it gives you so much confidence that like they're just human and you can actually compete against them.
Right.
So it's always special.
All right. And yeah, so we'll chat a little bit about where you guys come from and now. Uh, Liapeha?
Leapai.
Liapaia. All right. So we've got kind of a beach town there.
Yep.
So I look at that and it kind of reminds me of the Gulf of Mexico or California coast or something like
Yep.
that. What's it like in Liapaia?
It's awesome. Like I'm sure Goose knows that like I'll always talk about my hometown and I love to go there. And I think the population's like 50, 60,000.
Mm,
So kind of similar to here. I don't
right.
know. Yep. But like in Latvia, everything's just compact. Like everything's in one spot. It's not as we don't have like suburbs and stuff.
Hmm.
So it it just seems a lot smaller than I would say like Cloquet, Duluth. But yeah, it's awesome.
That beach, is there a lot of, I mean, does the Baltic ever get warm enough to swim in?
Oh yeah, in the summer, like
Um,
I spend almost like every day, at least a little bit
yeah.
on the beach, uh, running or training, whatever.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So, kind of a resort town place. A lot of people like to vacation, it looks like.
Oh yeah, in the summer it's awesome. There's a lot of people like just downtown's buzzing and everything. A lot of Lithuanians even come across the border to my hometown just to spend their summers there.
Okay.
So yeah.
What else is there to do as far as outside of hockey? What do you get involved with there?
Me personally, I love basketball, so we have a lot of outside courts like near the beach, in the park and stuff. So that's kind of my hobby. And yeah, just probably just go down for a swim
All right.
at the beach, just suntan and stuff.
Goose, Riga, let's if you can let folks know what it was like to grow up there and what it's like to hang out in Riga.
Ah, question. I mean,
It's been a while, I guess.
it's a capital city. I mean, um, I've been lucky to be, I guess, in the center of everything. My house is located 15 minutes from one side where I have to go, and then 15 minutes the other way. So everything's kind of close by. I've been able to walk or take the public buses every day. My parents didn't have to drive me everywhere. I bike to gym. Used to bike to gym all the time. Um, I don't know. Walk to school every time. It's like
Yeah.
it's close. Everything's close. Um, and it's fun. I love it. I mean, still a lot of people that
Hmm.
I love close to me, my parents and
Whole family basically
my
real
sc-
close by.
yeah, my school buddies. I've been able to keep very good contact with them.
Mhm.
I miss them too from time to time, and it's just a lot of stuff to do, a lot of stuff to see. I think it's a very beautiful city. I mean, we
Mhm.
have old architecture. It's called the Old Town.
Sure.
And there's super cool old architecture and all
Yeah, it
the
looks like it.
buildings, and
Looking at the buildings there, look a lot of
it's
history there.
it's something to see for sure.
Yeah.
Um, so whenever I wish somebody from the team or even around here came to Latvia, I would try my hardest to give them the best time and
Yeah.
I don't know, kind of make them fall in love with Latvia too,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
Riga especially.
Uh, you a basketball player too, or what's your?
Big time.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really play basketball with my history of injuries and all
Right.
that stuff, but
Yeah.
I would still like to go to a park and just shoot around the ball. I love basketball. I'm a big fan, and I don't know even how that happened. I just
Yeah.
fell in love with the sport just like Petey did.
So one on one, who's better here between the two of you?
I would
He's
say
got the size
he's
advantage, I
got the
guess, probably. Yeah.
size, and he's probably got more will too.
Yeah.
Kind of laid back, trying to
Yeah.
be careful and
Well,
get ready for hockey season too.
you look at in the NCAA tournament, you had a Jack Golke from Oakland University was the one that was able to become a star just for shooting
Right?
threes. So,
Exactly.
if you can kind of, it's one the crazy thing with that game, the way it goes sometimes. So, all right. So wanted to go ahead and just give folks a quick look here at what you guys got to experience a little bit in Alaska. And there's a picture of when you guys got to check out Hatcher Pass. Uh, what did you guys what were your favorite experiences there visiting Alaska outside of the rink? Best place to check out.
Best place to check out. Everybody's super excited whenever we get nice dinner.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's the best place to check out, but it's one of the best places to eat. I mean, we stay in Kenai, and the restaurant is in the motel where we stay at.
Yeah.
So
Well, we ate there last year and all that they've got
I'm super
basically all of
excited
the
to take down a good old steak.
yeah.
That's exciting. I mean, all the animals you see there, moose,
Hmm.
caribou, I believe it is,
Caribou, I'm sure. I remember they
and
had I can't remember what kind of fish it was. Maybe I think it was a the one that halibut. Yeah, they had one of those on the wall, I know.
yep,
So
that too, and then a reindeer actually.
okay.
That's like super exciting to see.
Yeah.
It's just it's so weird in Anchorage. You got all those tall buildings just like any other city has,
Hmm.
but then super close to it, there's like a reindeer
Sure.
just laying there, and it's crazy to see, and it's super exciting. Always when you go to Alaska, it's the first thing you think of. Oh,
Hmm.
I'm gonna see
And
a
you
lot
got
of
moose
mooses and
everywhere. You got moose,
moose, and
like so much that's like even
yeah,
they gotta warn you as you're going down the road,
right.
of how many times people have run into moose out there.
Right. I mean, there's like 164, I believe the number was
Yeah,
this winter. It's crazy.
yeah, yeah, it's nuts. How about you, Peter? Your thoughts on
Um,
your two trips to Alaska this year?
Probably the same thing. I've never seen a moose before. I think. So just seeing them being like friendly, they
Hmm.
don't run away and stuff. Just seeing them kind of up close is pretty special, you know.
You got an up close experience with one then when you're
Um,
up there, hey?
yeah, I wasn't as some of the guys where it was
Yeah,
like actually like a few feet from them, but like it was kind of close enough to understand how like big and tall they
sure.
are. But I didn't really get to go anywhere that much because I'm doing like online school and
Oh, yeah,
after
yeah. So you
practices.
got to
So
get, yeah,
yeah,
for that NCAA
yeah,
eligibility, you got to keep up with that. All right. And finally, now we'll just close out with what you've got coming up here. And with, we'll just quick look at the standings if folks are able to go ahead and look there at what we've got. Of course, now in fifth place, but you guys got games in hand on Chippewa. Two more games to play than the Steel do. Going up against the Wendigo coming up this weekend. Then you got four games against Springfield. And but first of all, the Wendigo. And what do you guys think here? What is the main thing to look for with them? You know them very well, having played them already 8 times this season.
sure.
What do you think of the strategy coming up here against the Wendigo?
Um, I would say still confident in our team, and I think the main thing we have to focus on is us. I believe that we can beat any team, and whenever we're locked in and working together, we'll beat anybody. And I would say that's the biggest thing we have to focus on. We can't drift away and think about what the other teams are going to do, but
Mhm.
because we have some stuff we need to figure out ourselves, and I think that will be big time emphasis going into this weekend.
Right. Petey, what do you think? Wendigo, Nemesis all season long, but you guys have played them tough all year as well.
Yeah, I think as Goose said, the main thing is just sticking to our plan and just figuring out what we need to do and not looking too much on other teams. Because as you said, if we fix our plan and stay to it the whole game, we can beat anybody.
Right. And just be able to move, get ready for this weekend. And you know, I know you guys will be able to get these guys ready to go and make it a big part as far as a push to finally get that playoff spot clinched. And I'm sure you got to be hungry after last season. As far as this team went, you got to be hungry to be able to at least get to that same spot as far as being in the Robertson
You're
Cup
right.
semis.
You're right. Chip on the shoulder for sure. Got to get further this year. We have to, and I know we will be focused and we'll do the best job possible.
I know you'll get the guys ready to go. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us here on the program. We got Goose Ozolins here, Peter Purmalis here on this edition of Into the Wilderness, and we will be back right after this. All right, we are wrapping up this edition of Into the Wilderness. There you've got a look at the schedule coming up. March 29th and 30th is the weekend against the Wisconsin Wendigo. That'll be followed by the final home series, which will be April 4th and 5th. Springfield will be in town. April 4th and 5th are Thursday and Friday nights. Saturday night will be the annual team party raffle. Find your tickets through the players or staff that are selling tickets if there are any available. And then finally, on April 12th and 13th, the final regular season series of the year will be down in Springfield. Still up in the air if the team will make the playoffs, but if they do, that those will begin on April 19th and 20th. There you see ticket prices, and home games are at Northwoods Credit Union Arena in Cloquet. I'm Marty Hill. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of Into the Wilderness, and we will see you at the rink.